Grammar and vocabulary are the structural components of any language. Assessing them directly gives educators the baseline data required to evaluate learners' overall proficiency. Evaluating a student's communication holistically only reveals whether they succeeded or failed at a task. Testing grammatical forms and lexical choices in isolation pinpoints exactly where their mental model of the language breaks down. This flowchart maps how those two core nodes, grammar and vocabulary, feed directly into reading, writing, listening, and speaking. A deficit in the center inevitably degrades performance in the branches. While holistic evaluation shows if a message was received, isolating these foundational forms allows an instructor to pinpoint whether a breakdown was caused by a lack of vocabulary or a structural grammatical failure. Grammatical knowledge requires two distinct core competencies. A learner must produce the correct form with structural accuracy, and they must deploy it with accurate meaning in context. Accuracy and form demands precise control over phonology, lexical selection, and morphosyntactic rules, like verb tenses and subject-verb agreement. Meaningfulness requires the learner to process both literal definitions and implied social contexts, navigating single sentences and larger blocks of discourse. This table categorizes grammar task design. Selected response tasks measure recognition and are scored dichotomously, wrong or right. Limited production tasks require specific generation, introducing partial credit scoring. Extended production tasks demand complex output, requiring detailed rubrics to measure form and meaning simultaneously. Aligning the task category with the specific grammatical goal ensures the scoring method accurately captures the student's level of control over form and meaning. Lexical knowledge functions as a dynamic system, where individual words require the context of surrounding language to settle into a specific, usable meaning. True lexical knowledge involves complex mental organization. A student must be able to categorize words quickly and access them automatically during rapid conversation. Learners will also rely on metacognitive strategies. These high-level cognitive skills allow them to manage communication breakdowns and deduce the meaning of unfamiliar words using contextual clues. This checklist outlines vocabulary task design. Clarify the test's purpose, define the construct, select target words based on frequency, and determine the mode of performance. That mode of performance is split between receptive tasks, where learners recognize and comprehend a word, and productive tasks, where they must actively recall and use the word in context. A comprehensive vocabulary assessment captures both capabilities. It tests passive recognition alongside the active, on-demand recall required for actual fluency. The precise, discrete measurement of grammatical and lexical knowledge is the essential diagnostic tool for evaluating all core linguistic functions. This breakdown of language assessment is brought to you by the IELTS Focus, an English center specializing in targeted, data-driven IELTS preparation. Mastering these foundational assessment techniques replaces guesswork with precision, providing educators with the data required to guide learners toward long-term language mastery.